Okay, just like these early ones, these are also proportions. You're saying if a car travels 180 miles in 7 hours, okay, essentially what we want to know is how many miles is that for every 1 hour? That's going to give us our speed in miles per hour. That's car A, so I'm going to label that as car A. And I'm going to do car B here. Car B says 350 miles in 4 hours. And what I'm asking is, if that's true, then how many miles is that every 1 hour? Okay, and car C? Car C is traveling 584 miles every 15 hours, or in 15 hours. So how many miles is that for every 1 hour? Because these are going to be our rates of speed, our average speed. And when we find that out, we can tell who's going fastest. So let's do this multiplication. 180 times 1, 180. 7 times x, 7x. I'm going to set them all up first and then we'll solve them. Okay? 350 times 1, 350. 4 times x, 4x. 584 times 1, 15 times x. And now we're going to be divide by whatever the coefficient of the variable is. So we're going to divide these both by 7 in this case. Here we're going to divide them both by 4. Here we're going to divide them both by 15. Okay? So then what we get is x here is equal to, and x here is equal to. We need to do this problem right here, 180 divided by 7. So I'll do this over on the side. 180 divided by 7 goes in, 14 goes in twice. Seven goes into 40 5 times. That's 35. 5 left over, so we've got 25 and 5 is the remainder over 7. 25 and 5/7 miles. 25 and 5/7. Okay, and we'll do the same thing here, where now we're going to do 350 divided by 4. Four goes into 35 8 times, 32. 4 goes into 30 7 times, 28. We get 2 left over, or 2/4, which is 1/2. So this one is going at, wow, much faster. 87 and 1/2 miles per hour. And what about this last one? $584 divided by 15. 15 goes into 58 3 times, that's 45. 13 left over. 15 goes into 134 8 times. 15 times 8 is 120. I just happen to know these facts. And we've got 14 left over, 14 over 15. Which is the fastest car? Well, you can see that car A is going between 25 and 26 miles an hour. Car B is going between 87 and 88 miles per hour. Car C is going between 38 and 39 miles an hour. Clearly, it is car B. Okay? Car B. All right, that's how you do it. We're going to do the rest of these. I know this is a bit of work, but that's how you do it. And if you do a bunch of them, you get better, quicker. Okay, shopping for jeans. Express sells 3 pairs of jeans for $61. We're going to set this up as a proportion. Okay, $61. Oh, and by the way, let's say City Express. Let's just write it as City Express. City Express is $61 for 3 pairs of jeans. And again, we just like earlier, we can set this up as a unit rate to say how many dollars then is that for 1 pair of jeans. Denim Planet. With their rate, they sell 2 pairs of jeans for $73. And that's equal to how much for 1 pair of jeans? Now new threads. New threads is 4 pairs of jeans for $110. And that's equal to how much for 1 pair of jeans? Okay, now again, we can do this as a proportion. 61 equals 3x. Okay, we can set this one up as a proportion. 73 equals 2x. And we can set this up as a proportion. 110 equals 4x. Okay, and let's go through and let's just divide by the coefficient each time. Divided by 3. Here divided by 2. Here divided by 4. Okay, and we get here x is equal to, I can do this in my head because 60 divided by 3 is 20. So it's 20 and 1/3. Don't worry that it's money, we're just checking generally the price. Okay, I can do this one in my head too. Half of 72 is 36. So that's 36 and a half. And here I can do this one in my head. Because dividing by 4 is just like dividing by 2 and then dividing that result by 2. Dividing 110 by 2 is 55. And if I divide 55 by 2, I get 27 and a half. This is the cost for 1 pair of jeans for each. This one costs that much per pair, this much per pair, this much per pair. And City Express clearly has the cheapest jeans at $20 and then another third of a dollar each. So City Express is our answer. One more. Okay, continuing on in the same manner. Okay, Lenny, he runs 100 meters in 25 seconds. That's, we can say how many meters per 1 second. Set that up as a proportion. Okay. Gary runs 450 meters in 112.5 seconds. That's going to be how many meters per second? And Bruford runs a 950 meter course in 237.5 seconds, which is equal to how many meters per 1 second? Interesting. Okay, so this is a little tough as far as the math goes, but let's do it. Right? We can say this times this equals this times this, or 100 equals 25x. And when we divide both sides by 25, this one is 4. So this guy Lenny is running 4 meters per second. Okay. Let's keep going. We can say this times this equals this times this, or 450 is equal to 112.5 x. And then dividing both sides by 112.5. And there's actually something interesting that I know. I know this because I can see what's going on here. Okay. If I doubled, and this is just a fun fact, if I doubled 112.5, I'd get 225. And if I doubled it again, I get 450. Which means when I divide both sides by 112.5, 112.5 is going to go into 450 exactly 4 times. Oh, interesting, because that's the same rate that Lenny ran. Okay, and doing it again, that same idea, I know that if I take this well, first let me set it up as a proportion. This times this equals this times this, so we get 950 is equal to 237.5x. Okay. I also know this, that if I double 237.5, I get 475. I don't know if you can see that here. If you double that, this is 400, that's 460, and this 7.5 is 15, so 60 plus the 15 is 75. If I double it again, I get doubling 75 is 150, and doubling 400 is 800. So 800 plus 150 is 950. Doubling it and doubling it again. Basically what I figured out then is that 237.5 is going to go into 950 exactly 4 times. And that means that they're each running at 4 meters per second. And so the question is, who runs the fastest? The answer is they all travel at the same speed. They're all running at the same speed. I'm going to actually just write that down on the bottom. Actually, I'm not going to write it because it's easy for you to look at it and you have to listen to what I'm saying in order to hear it and see it. Okay? They all run at the same speed, 4 meters per second. Got it? Okay, now this looks like a hard problem to do and it might be pretty tough numbers wise, but you can see how my familiarity with numbers helped me see fairly easily that this is 4 times this, so the answer is 4. This is 4 times this, so it's going to be 4. And this is 4 times this, so it's going to be 4. Okay, tricky, sure, but the idea should be basic for you. And when you get your own problem, it might not be quite so difficult in terms of the numbers. Good luck.